The Pacers, the Heat, the Wizards, and the Bucks all present unique challenges for some of the best teams in the East. Anthony, which team do you think has the best shot for an upset in the playoffs?
I'm going to head north to Milwaukee. The Bucks do not sleep on the Greek freak and Giannis Antetokounmpo. They are the 8-7 seed right now, but we haven't seen the full potential of this Bucks team. Jabari Parker's been out for most of the year. He's finally coming back, and since he's been back, Malcolm Brogdon's been hurt. So we haven't seen a full Bucks roster yet. They're way too good to be down the 8-7 seed. They were in the playoffs last year, forced the Raptors to 7 games. They've been there before. This year they get over that hump. They're going to win their first round matchup.
Jack?
In my opinion, right now, you're basically looking at the Raptors and the Celtics both have a chance to be upset. Sorry, LeBron James is not losing in the first round of the playoffs, or any round for that matter, until the finals. So you're basically looking at the Celtics or the Raptors. I think the Celtics right now are susceptible. They're very banged up right now, and Kyrie Irving might be out for an extended period of time. So you're kind of looking at a race for the 7th spot. And right now it's between the Bucks and the Heat, but I think the Heat are going to end up getting in. The Heat are going to make a run. They have top to bottom solid players. They don't have any real star. Goran Dragic was their only all-star, and he was a reserve, just barely sneaking in after a few injuries. But they have Dragic, they have Tyler Johnson, they have James Johnson, they have Kelly Olynyk coming off the bench. They have one of the best back-to-the-basket post players in Hassan Whiteside, who has been injured during their bad stretch over the last few games. Kelly Olynyk, you see it right there, he's been shooting the 3 particularly well. Sure, they threw a lot of money at him, but he's been a huge 6th man off their bench. This team hustles, and they're in the game with anyone. If it comes down to a Game 7, this Miami team is going to get it scrappy.
Matt?
I mean, I think it has to be the Indiana Pacers. This is a team that has a first-time All-Star in Victor Oladipo, who's probably going to win NBA Most Improved Player. And this team, well, they don't blow you away with a lot of stats. This is a very strong defensive team. 8th in the NBA in opponents' points per game. Oladipo leading the NBA in steals. Miles Turner, a very strong player, 3rd in the NBA in blocks per game. This is a team that is ready to lock you down, slow your game down, and make you really work for each one of your shots. And I don't know if a team that the Pacers run into in the first round is going to be able to figure that one out in a 7-game series.
Matt, speaking of defense, the Heat are 3rd right now in total defense, and they've improved their offense the most since the All-Star break out of anyone. Like I said, they don't have any star players, but that kind of works in their favor because they can go to anyone in the crunch time. They used to have Deion Waiters last year. He's been hurt, but they can go to Olynyk. They can go to Dragic.
Yeah, because you want to go to Kelly Olynyk in crunch time.
They can go to James Johnson, who's a power forward who can stretch the floor, who's starting to shoot the 3 well. A lot of players are coming on, and this Heat jungle that they dubbed it, their practice court, where they molded the team that had the best second half in the NBA last year. They're going to pick up steam going to the playoffs. And you're talking Pacers, but right now, I'm worried they're going to get locked into that 6th spot, and they're going to have no chance against LeBron James.
Here's my problem with the Heat real quick, is that they just don't score. They average the least amount of points out of all 8 Eastern Conference teams. Yeah, the offense may be improving, but they don't have that star player that can get you buckets in the 4th quarter when the defense is ramping up. The benches become smaller in the playoffs, and the top players, they take over. Giannis is the best player among these bottom 4 teams. He's going to take over. That's why LeBron's made 8 straight finals. He's the best player. Giannis, the best chance to get out of the first round because he's the best player.